blowing the kiss thing. That was hard when she did it. To bring her back right here was a little tough. So I do want to thank everybody for coming. She would have loved to have seen every one of you here tonight. All the people that came through the line said all these great things about them. I just wanted to say a few things, and I think we want to pass it on for other folks to jump in, and we'll have the grandkids kind of close it out as well. So, the piece that I wanted to just kind of talk about, today we lost a great person, right? A great mother, a great mother-in-law, a great grandmother, a great sister, sister-in-law, a great aunt, a great cousin, a great friend. We went through some of the line, and it was hard for some of the people. We would talk to them and talk about what their experiences were with my parents. It was amazing, all the stuff they would talk about. We heard some even news stories I hadn't heard tonight about some of the things that they welcome people into their house. And when they were moving between houses, they said, hey, it's getting cold, why don't you stay in our cabin, in our house, while we're gone in the south. I actually even forgot about that story. But again, I think today we really want to celebrate her life. The one thing, and I think this is, Julia kind of touched on it, and very nice, Julia, but she taught us many things. So some of the things I think about is, she taught us to enjoy nature, right? And you can see by the sunset pictures and everything else, she really enjoyed nature. She really enjoyed a lot of different things. She would also, as I was growing up, she would talk about how she enjoyed nature as a kid in Rockville. They would play up in the pasture, and they said they would talk about her brothers running back and forth and swinging on this big oak tree. And I could just imagine that always, how beautiful that must have been. So I think that implied some of her love for nature. She also taught us to be welcoming and caring. So some of that, obviously welcoming Ron and Kevin and foreign exchange students were always welcome into our house. She also, some of that caring, it was pretty amazing. Your brother Ralph lived in Watkins here at an assisted living place, and so she ended up getting a job as a cook there to spend more time with her brother. So definitely someone that cared a lot. As her brother Jerry, who was dealing with cancer himself, couldn't do his job anymore. He needed someone to run deliveries, so for several weeks she actually ran the deliveries for her brother. So again, just taught us how to be a caring person. So other things she taught us is to work hard. We may have done that a little bit too hard sometimes, people might argue. But the trips to 4-H events, to the fairgrounds, to showing cattle, all of the different things that she would just never thought about it. She would just take care of. She would get us there. Also think about in that sometimes, and I saw some of Alphonse's, Keekley's kids here today, and it was kind of fun to see them, but occasionally our 4-H projects, our apple tree would not produce apples that were that great. So sometimes we'd actually go to the neighbors and actually get apple trees or apples from their trees to take for our 4-H projects. So you got to do what you got to do. We got to have you want a blue ribbon on that apple project. So she would help us out. So definitely on the farm, anything from taking care of the cattle, feeding calves, backing trailers, as it was discussed. She was always jumping in and taking care of what needed to be done. A lot of that, my dad had a lot of ideas. I sometimes wonder if those were all his ideas or planted ideas. I think, Mary Lou, you and I talked about that a little bit, that some of those ideas were definitely my mom's ideas. But she was also the one to drive to get it done. So that was, she taught us how to work hard, but yet go in and get things done. She also enjoyed friends and family. Julia, you kind of touched on that, definitely. But countless card groups, progressive dinners, the Zimmerman Day picnic that went on for not just a day. It actually was a whole weekend event and multi-years. So definitely a lot of fun. She definitely welcomed everybody. She was always prepared and always had plenty of foods, including multiple meats at every dinner. Lastly, she enjoyed life. Some of the things that some people don't know, she actually had a snowmobile called Dirty Sally. It was decorated with flowers. We're like, where would you get those flowers? But they were actually the anti-stick mats that you would put in a shower. So they came in flowers, and she decorated her snowmobile with those as Dirty Sally. So another thing she had, her and my dad both got motorcycles, so they had a motorcycle endorsements. And that was actually their helmet, which is now probably back in style. That was her helmets. They had a matching pair. I'm not sure what happened to the other one, but they were always up for an adventure wherever they were. Traveled extensively. Well, I don't know if we have a count, but multiple countries. I'm guessing around 40 states that they visited in all of their travels. I don't know, Justine, if you have a count on the mugs, but
the mug count is about 40.
Yeah, she captured the mugs for every state she was in. So at the end of all of that, she was a special person, and she was a great mother, a great wife, a great grandmother, a great sister, a great sister-in-law, a great mother-in-law, a great cousin, a great friend, and she will be missed.